to their final strike and get a big win on the road against Chicago. First game of a double dip against the Cubbies. We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about Kawhi Leonard. And, Jeff, I walked into the studio before we went on the air, and you asked me, hey, Pep, anything change about what you think about Kawhi? No, Jeff. Nothing has changed in 24 hours. I still firmly believe there's a better chance of Kawhi and LeBron getting together in Cleveland.
Stop it!
Than the two of them with the Lakers.
I have been evolving all day and all night from last time we spoke.
You're still evolving?
I am still evolving.
I am here. I am not moving.
I am evolving, and I'm telling you what, I think that there are some differences that, ESPN is saying this, Fox is saying this, all the other outlets are saying this. But I have my own take where I think Kawhi Leonard is going to go, and I still think the ball is in his court.
It's not.
And I think by Thursday, we will know where LeBron James, where Kawhi Leonard, and where that third superstar will be playing, whether it be Chris Paul, Paul George, someone else will join the big three.
See, I think that's still the root of the problem between you and I.
The root of the problem.
The Spurs have all the power.
They don't.
Why would they do Kawhi a favor?
They have to.
Well, you think they want to help the Lakers build a super team? That's another obstacle.
No, they don't want
the NBA Finals.
That is the last thing they want to do. But Greg Popovich is going to coach for one more year, take over the U.S. national program. He's going to get the most of what he can, and right now the most he can get is from the Lakers. There might be a three-way deal, but there's going to be something in the works. The Lakers have the most pieces, the youngest pieces, to make San Antonio a lot better than what they were last year.
I'll be honest. I think the Clippers have a better chance.
The Clippers have no.
Wait, don't they have the number 9 and the number 10 pick in the first round?
They do. They do. But guess what?
Spurs could have both of those.
It's still from the Clippers. The only good thing the Clippers have, besides they need to change their name, just do a complete overall change, their colors, rebrand. And the only good thing is they have the logo. They have Jerry West in-house. Jerry West is a big fan, or I should say LeBron James is a big fan of Jerry West, but guess what? He doesn't sign the paychecks, and I don't think LeBron James, I don't think Kawhi Leonard, and I don't think anybody wants to be a Clipper. Chris Paul wanted out. Blake Griffin's out. DeAndre Jordan wants out. He is stuck as a Clipper. He will be the mainstay, the only player of note for the Clippers.
Well, we'll talk a lot more about Kawhi Leonard, where he might end up. You've got a hunch that it might happen before or during the draft. Like, you think it's going to happen more immediately. I think this is going to continue for a while.
Well, I think it could continue until July 1st, but I think we're going to see the makings of what's going to happen before Thursday. I think we're going to see pieces fall into place that will better show us where Kawhi Leonard, where Chris Paul, where some of these other big trades, because there's going to be big trades. I think Toronto's going to get rid of some players. I think the East is going to be completely revamped. I think the East could be worse off come Thursday than they are today.
Because the West is already better.
The West is
and you think the rich are going to get richer. You think more of these guys are going to head out west.
I do, because I think if you're part of the East, you know that Boston and Philadelphia are going to be the two teams in the Eastern Conference. But if you're out west and you've got, think about it, every good player, 12 of the 15 top players in the NBA are from the West. They're going to have to get through Golden State no matter what. Why not go through it in the Western Conference and then play somebody out of the East? Defeat the world champions, you become a world champion yourself.
Well, later in the show, we're going to talk a lot more about the NBA draft, what this means for Kawhi Leonard and a potential trade. The story that I read, Jeff, this morning is a super team in Cleveland. Kawhi, LeBron James, Kemba Walker,
Kemba Walker.
Love. Oh, it's going to be a super team.
How are you able to do this?
I don't know.
We got to talk about this because there's no way.
Listen, I don't balance the checkbook. I just read the story. I know there's not a lot of flexibility in terms of money in Cleveland, but they're going to have a super team.
I will agree with you on this. There are only two places that LeBron James will land, and those two places are Cleveland and Los Angeles. The Lakers, not the Clippers. There are two places only. His family wants to move out here. His son wants to go play at Sierra Canyon. Wants to play for that super high school team.
Good teams in Cleveland.
No,
really good high school basketball.
No, you are. Hey, Sierra Canyon. You can play with Kenyon Martin Jr., Scottie Pippen Jr., and then you have little Bron will be a freshman at Sierra Canyon, the defending state open champions.
or he could stay in Cleveland.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. You can spoil yourself and your car every 3,000 or 5,000 miles. You already know you're overdue. You need the oil change. You're looking in the corner of your windshield. Go get your oil. It's right there off of Alessandro Boulevard. They'll even throw on some wiper blades if you need them. Spoiled. Quick quality oil change.
We love you guys. All right, let's talk a little World Cup. Jeff, I got up early because I turned on Telemundo. That's where I watch my football, because football es mi corazón. Es mi amor.
Hey, you know why I watch Telemundo?
Yeah.
The really, really pretty girls.
The telenovelas.
Yes, and the weather girls. Yes, I go through all of Channel 34. I hit them all. That is why I watch it. But I did watch a little World Cup because I'm always up with the 1-year-old. Baby Zika with the mini head and the big hair. We were up at 5 o'clock in the morning this morning.
Because of the time change. They play early in Russia, right?
Yes.
I mean, you got to get up early if you want to watch the soccer World Cup.
I was up at 5 o'clock this morning. We were sitting there, and first thing he said was ball and milk. We sat and watched a little soccer.
Watch some ball, drink some milk. We had Japan beating Colombia by a score of 10-1. Colombia got a red card early in that match, though. It was
red card.
It was like a man advantage. They were on the power play. Japan, the whole match. They won 2-1.
So that means they got booted.
He got booted, Jeff.
So
ejected, red card.
Well, you and I did a game that was like 7-on-7 at the end of the game.
I've never seen anything like. We did Riverside Coras against SoCal SC.
Was that not
at UC Riverside?
That was the best soccer game I've ever watched.
It was 8 versus 7. Soccer's usually 11 versus 11, right?
It was
8 versus 7 at the end. Security was escorting guys like out of the stadium. It was bizarre. I've never seen anything like it.
I want the World Cup to be every game like you and I did.
Senegal beat Poland 2-1. Poland probably should have at least tied that match. I watched. That was one of those early games. And then the host country, Russia, beating Egypt. It was all Russia in this one. It sounded a little bit like this.
Ahí está el pelotazo. Cuidado con Ciuba. Le pega Ciuba. Gol. Gol.
Is that the same guy, Pep?
He does all the matches. He does not get a break. He doesn't sleep. He just does soccer all night long, all morning long, all day long.
So is Russia now 2-0?
They are, but here's the deal. So, who's on before us? Mark and Richard from San Diego?
Yes.
They're saying, man, Russia got really good. No, Russia's playing bad teams.
Aren't they playing the dirt teams?
They're the host country. They put them in a pool with other bad teams.
Who did they play the first game?
They beat Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's on sand.
Like 5-zip.
That's a sand team. And then you beat Egypt. That's a sand team.
Yeah, so
they're playing. They have to play around.
Once they get out of
pyramids.
Pool play, they're going to play some real teams.
Yeah, you can't play around the pyramids. You can't be any good. Russia, you know what? The Russian bots. The Russian bots are controlling the World Cup. Yes, they are.
You like a good conspiracy theory.
I love it. I'm telling you, they're involved.
All right, the Dodgers, a doubleheader against the Cubs today because last night it was rained out. Game 1 of that double dip featured our own Tyler Chatwood, the pride of Redlands East Valley, on the bump for the Cubs. Jeff, he was great. 5 innings, he gave up just two hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. He was fantastic, but the Cubs bullpen could not hold it up as the Dodgers were down to their final strike. 2 outs, down to their final strike, top of the 9th, and Kyle Farmer delivered a 2-run double, bringing home Austin Barnes and Justin Turner. So they take game 1 of the double dip. That's a big win for them.
Yeah, and anytime Kenley Jansen gets on the mound, he got his 18th save. You're in trouble. They put up 2 in, like you said, 2 in the 9th to put away Chicago. But yeah, what a great game though for Tyler Chatwood, who does have the best name in baseball. That sounds like a baseball player, doesn't he?
Yeah, Tyler
Chatwood.
And he's got an amazing beard. Have you seen his beard?
No, is it glorious?
Yeah, it's pretty glorious. All right, here's the game winning hit from Kyle Farmer.
Ground ball, past a diving Bryant and down the line. Barnes is in to score. Turner's given the wave. He'll score without a throw.
You think it's by accident I wore my Riverside Poly baseball shirt? The pride of Poly, Austin Barnes, crossing the plate there.
Good call. I don't have a Poly shirt. You know why?
Why?
Because I went to Ramona. We don't like Poly. Heck with you, Austin Barnes.
They're going to say something like, yeah, what did they say? Like, nice shirt. Did they make them for men?
Yeah, well, no, that's an extra medium right there. That's a good-looking shirt on you. That's a nice. I do like the rain cross. Yeah. But, yeah, it says Poly Bear. The Polytechnic, yeah, I'm not a Bear fan.
Well, the Riverside Poly Bear, Austin Barnes, a key part in that big Dodgers win this morning against the Cubs. They're going to do it all over again in about, less than 2 hours from Wrigley Field. Rich Hill's going to get the start for the Dodgers. He just made that rehab start, and he was fantastic for Rancho Cucamonga last week against the Lake Elsinore Storm. So Rich Hill back out on the mound at Wrigley. And Clayton Kershaw, we're getting a little bit of clarity now because remember he had that simulated game in Chicago yesterday, and we still weren't quite sure when he might be back. They said maybe 4 or 5 days. Now we know he's actually going to make a rehab start this Saturday. But, Jeff, it's not with the Kook. It's not the Quakes.
Where the hell is it?
Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
he's going to AAA.
It's going to be hot there. He's going to pull a muscle. He's not careful.
No,
he's going to sweat a lot. If he was out here, he'd be perfectly fine. If it's the dry heat, he wouldn't get hurt. Send him back out here.
It's going to get really hot this week from what I heard. Like 100 degrees tomorrow.
He might get bit by a bug.
Do me a favor. Find what's the temperature, what's the weather like in Oklahoma City this Saturday?
I will.
Because I got a feeling maybe the IE's better, maybe it's on par. I really don't know. I'm not a big weather guy like Mike Trout.
Yeah, but think of it. Oh, that's right. Mike Trout.
He loves the weather.
That's right.
Speaking of Mike Trout and the Halos, they lost to the Diamondbacks last night 7-4. Albert Pujols did have his 12th homer of the season. Justin Upton connected on his 16th. In fact, Upton should have had 2 home runs in the game. He should have had a grand slam. He was robbed of a grand slam by Jared Dyson of Arizona, and it was a 7-4 setback for the Halos. We were hoping the Halos would actually help out the Dodgers and beat Arizona a couple times, but there's a big but. But game 1 of the series goes to Arizona, 7-4 the final score. And meanwhile, Houston remains red hot. They have won 12 in a row. They beat the Rays by a score of 5-4. They had 2 in the bottom of the 9th to win it, as the Astros have now won 12 straight, continuing to grow that lead. It's ballooning now in the American League West as Houston is now up on Seattle, and that lead is just growing on the Halos in the American League West.
I've officially pushed the panic button.
You have?
I have.
Did you find the weather?
Yes, I did.
What's the weather like in OKC? This weekend.
This weekend on Saturday. Is it going Saturday?
Going Saturday.
It's going to be 94 degrees, and the humidity is going to be at 74%.
Oh.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I'd rather be at the Kook right out here.
Yeah.
Go right up to 15. Boom. Get off on, was it Rochester? You're right there.
And you can go into your dugout and you can have a water with lemon because he's a millionaire. Millionaires always drink their water with lemon. Instead, he's going to be drinking water. It's going to be warm. There's going to be bugs in it. It's going to be horrible. Why would you want to do that, Kershaw? Why?
So Kershaw will be back pretty soon, but he is starting at AAA this Saturday. If all goes well, then we'll see him in a Dodgers uniform the following week. It's all brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the Inland Empire, bringing you all of your sporting gear needs. And they can do Letterman's jackets as well. No order is too big. They can do team sales. They can hook it up for your company as well. They got embroidery, screen printing. They do it all at Ken Sporting Goods. KenSportingGoods.com is the website. Go check them out off of the 15 freeway in Norco, Hamner. That's right. All right, Jeff, when we come back, we've got a very special guest in
Surprise
studio,
guest.
and it's not Greg Holla.
It's a mystery.
I mean, I always like seeing him, but it's not him.
Were you happy last night when I told you we were going to have a mystery guest coming in?
I was like, who's it going to be?
Yeah.
Like, all these names were running through my head. Jeff told you?
Irving Magic Johnson. No, even better.
Better than that?
My all-time favorite guest here in the studio.
I can't wait to find out who it's going to be. Our mystery guest coming up here on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Ian Ralston was a combat medic who suffered a catastrophic war injury in Iraq.
We're small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal
every
to
benefit
us.
he's earned to live as normal life as possible. And we did. He needed an accessible house. We got that grant.
We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase.
Veterans of America has helped hundreds of thousands of veterans, and their service is free to all veterans and their families. Paralyzed Veterans of America.
We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cahelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings.
Sometimes auto accidents aren't really accidents at all.
We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using, we do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car, whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for.
Even deadly. But the criminals that are behind them are interested in only one thing: money from an insurance claim. They'll take advantage of the situation.
We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Call the police and take pictures of the damage, the people in the other vehicles, the license plate, licenses, and registration. Tell your insurance.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here with Boost Training. We're here at the BPC and it's summertime. We have another Boost Training tip for you. This tip goes out to all the football players who spent the entire offseason getting strong, putting on weight, getting bigger. Now it's time to make that sports specific and turn it into power. So these next few tips are going to show you exactly how to do that. Let's check it out. Okay, so our first tip of the day is what's called a depth jump. And this is a great drill to turn strength into power that you want to hit as you start getting closer to the season for an off-season football player. So what Cruz is going to do, he's going to take a quick step off the box. He's going to quickly elevate, and he's going to land on that here. All right, he's going to have his hips flexed, arms extended. He's going to hold that for a second. He's going to step back down. Here we go, Cruz. Let's hit it. Nice. Once a for a second. A nice and easy step down. Jump. Great drill to maximize power. There you have it. Now we just showed you guys a depth jump. Now to progress that and really take it to the next level, you can either elevate the 18-inch box here, all right, or we can elevate the landing box, all right? And remember, the goal here is to minimize ground contact and have a great counter movement, meaning when we hit the ground, we want to bring our arms through, all right? So just one of the things that you can do to make this more difficult and to maximize all those power gains. So that's our Boost Training tip of the day. Thanks for checking us out again. And make sure you stay up to date with everything that's Boost. Check our schedules, check our videos at our website at www.boosttrainingsystems.com. Check out our Twitter at Boost_training and our Instagram at Boost Training. Grind hard, stay solid.
Sports leader. Jeff Gorham, Greg Holla, I'm simply Pep Fernandez. We're brought to you by our good friends at Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. I went in there the other day, a bunch of football guys training, but he cut off all his dreadlocks.
What?
I didn't even recognize him.
He has no dreads anymore.
No dreads. High and tight.
Really?
Like even shorter than mine.
He's had him forever.
Had him forever.
He had the Predator look. I like the Predator look.
Yeah, but now he's got a baby face. He looks like a young guy.
Oh.
Ray Bass, we love you. Go to boosttrainingsystems.com because athletes of all sports, all levels, everyone's checking out Boost Performance Training on Instagram and Twitter. They're located in Corona. All right, we will get to Kawhi Leonard, all this NBA draft nonsense, because, Jeff, let's be honest, we're probably going to be talking about this nonstop over the course of the next several days, maybe even the weeks, as we really go into that free agency period the first week of July when things really get cracking.
What if we've been talking about it, though, nonstop, and it just goes out like this?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. But I sure
Spurs
hope.
don't trade Kawhi. LeBron stays in Cleveland. Chris Paul stays with Houston.
And the Lakers revel in mediocrity again.
Oh, that'd be awful.
No, yeah, right, whatever. There, you'd love that.
It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But right now, our mystery guest, Jeff. Why don't you introduce our mystery guest? Because I had nothing to do with this.
No, you did not. I wanted to surprise you. But no, our mystery guest is our favorite guest. We've followed this young lady for the last few years. She was the National High School Player of the Year. She was went to Norco High School. She played at Cal State Fullerton. She is the biggest star we have ever had in here, the great Taylor Dockins.
You hear the applause?
I do. I hear a lot of people.
Drum roll. There's a lot of suspense building.
I'm telling you, man. When you have the National Player of the Year in here, I get a little nervous. I do. It's like you talking to Steve Fisher.
Yeah.
Me talking to Chip. Chip Kelly didn't make me nervous. He was shorter than I was and funny looking. But certainly, when you talk to certain people, you get a little nervous. I'm always a little nervous in front of this young lady.
She sit right next to you.
Yeah.
Hi, Taylor.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Really well. Hey, so talk about your season at Cal State Fullerton. I mean, we watched you on TV. You were great out there. Jeff, what game were you talking about? The UCLA game? She came in, struck out that batter who was the Pac-12, it was the freshman of the year, right? So, I mean, when you look back at your freshman season, talk about it as a whole. And what did you enjoy about it?
Yeah, well, the beginning of the season, I was doing really well. I started off with Rutgers, the opening game of our season, which was really exciting. The freshman pitcher going in there, but I did really well. No runs, pitched a shutout, and then I pitched a no-hitter.
That's right.
And then?
I pitched no-hitter, and then the UCLA game, it was so much that happened.
Everything happened. You guys won the Big West?
Yeah, we won the Big West. We made it to regionals, which was amazing. We did beat UCLA one game, and then we lost the two other games after that, but I mean, I think we'll be back next year and doing pretty good.
You're so modest. I don't know. What did we do this year? We beat UCLA. We won the Big West. Yeah. Oh, the no-hitter. There was the no-hitter. She's way too modest. Taylor, we always like seeing you. Thank you for coming in studio today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So, Jeff and I have always talked about this, the outpouring of love and support and encouragement, not only from Norco, not only from the Inland Empire, but from beyond. I'm sure people have reached out to you from all corners of the earth, really, to, words of encouragement, maybe, right? And just being supportive. I mean, what's that been like?
Oh, it's been incredible. I've been getting follow requests from people from out of state, out of the country. It's ridiculous. Every softball team nationally, the Australian team, Great Britain, USA team even, are all wearing my bracelet, supporting me in every way. People are sending me gifts.
You got gifts?
I have gifts. I have flowers. Always know I have gifts from my friends in North Carolina, my friends in Tennessee, everywhere. And they're sending me gifts in Montana.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, she's met a lot of cool people, through this. Even one in Missoula.
Yeah,
all
what's
right?
going on here? I'm sure because how many followers? And everybody knows. How old are you now? You're 19?
I'm
19? How many followers do you have on Instagram?
I think it's 2,000. 2,235.
Okay, so 2,000.
But which one's your favorite?
Yeah, which one of those is your favorite follower? Because I this past week I go on the Instagram and Twitter and I go, wait a second here.
Instagram.
I said who is this person? Who is this person? Because I look at her like a daughter type figure.
Very protective.
And there's a guy. There is a good looking dude. He's not like a big ugly guy who's like, like a loser. He's like a guy that if I had a daughter, I'd be like, hey, or one of my sons. Good looking dude. What's going on there, Taylor?
Yeah, I do have a new boyfriend.
Hey!
Yeah, he lives in Montana. He's 23 years old. He wants to, be in medical business, so he's still going to University of Montana, and I'll go visit him in a few weeks.
Have you ever been to Montana?
No.
It'll be nice. It's definitely
there's an airport, right, in Missoula.
There is, yeah.
Fly right in there,
and it's not the dead of winter, so it'll be fine. It'll be perfect. You'll have nice, beautiful flowers. You won't be under 17, 18 feet of snow.
Because I went there. You missed that trip.
I did miss that trip.
For UCR basketball, I went up there in when was that? Was that late December?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like the North Pole. It was crazy.
I know. He said you'll be fine. It's only going to be like 60 something, and I'm like, that's freezing to be here.
Yeah.
And to go there, but I'll have fun. I'm excited.
You're gonna definitely have to pack your jeans for sure.
I would trade that in for 100 degrees, in the middle of July or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Down here in the IE, I'd trade that in.
Oh yeah,
in a heartbeat.
Now, my biggest question is, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the family situation. Your story has really, I think, if it's done it to my family, it's done it to families across the nation and across the globe. It sounds like, your ordeal, your struggle, your perseverance has really kind of it's brought my family together because we've prayed together, and we're on the radio station here. I'm going to say we pray together. We think about you. My wife and I have great discussions about you. She asks how you're doing all the time, but I think what you are going through and what you have persevered and showed us, you've brought a lot of people like us, the Gorham family, together closer because we think about you. And when you think about people you care about, it makes you, in retrospect, think of the family you have, and you don't take any day for granted. I know your father's here. I've talked to your mother a few times. Is that kind of the mentality that you guys have as a family? Is that, you don't take any day, minute, second for granted?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm really close to my parents. We are always taking drives down the coast. We're going to San Diego, Santa Barbara. We always take drives to San Francisco. It's my favorite place in the world. So, always spending quality time with my family is like number one for me. So like you said, never take a day for granted. Never take a second for granted. Always, live the best that you can every single day. And, always enjoy life. You never know when it's no one's promised tomorrow. So,
well, she says San Francisco's her favorite place. That might change in a couple of weeks when she lands in Missoula, right?
Yeah.
It could be Missoula real quick.
It could.
It's like two polar opposites. We got Taylor Dockins, Cal State Fullerton pitcher, of course, the pride of Norco High School here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Taylor, as we go back, on the diamond, between the lines, you like next year's group really well at Cal State Fullerton, right? Like maybe back-to-back Big West Conference titles, maybe College World Series. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, it kind of looks that way. We lose only 6 or 7 seniors this year, and we have 9 coming in freshmen. So, they have hot bats. Wow. You get a couple catchers, pitchers, and I think we're going to look pretty well this year. So.
Now, do you look at the College World Series, Softball World Series? Do you think the West kind of gets snubbed occasionally? Because there's so many good teams just in the Big West that could really qualify, I think, and play it in the Softball World Series. Do you think they get snubbed out here?
A little bit, because SEC is such a big conference, and all those big conferences are in the back east. So the West does get snubbed a little bit, but we have to keep working hard and keep proving them wrong.
We should come up with like an IE All-Star team because Taylor, there was a couple girls I think on Oklahoma.
Yes, from Grand Terrace that played there at Grand Terrace a couple years ago.
Yes, and we had Zoe Cassis, Aquinas High School, who won the national title with Florida State. If you just keep looking around, the leadoff hitter for Washington, Taylor Van Zee, right? Him at high school. Like you could put together a really good college softball team just looking around here in the IE. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, is softball recruited? Is it heavily recruited out here? How come players don't stay out here out west?
That's a very good question, because that was my number one thing, is to stay close to home. And I mean, there's people going back, back east, but I mean, I think it's just all a part of the game. They want to go for Oklahoma, big names out there that are always in the College World Series.
Florida or an Ole Miss or something
exactly.
like that.
But me, I just want to stay close to home. It wasn't my number one thing to go to a very big school, and I always want to make a difference and prove people wrong. So I was hoping to change the way that Cal State Fullerton. So maybe we'll see.
Was it fun playing UCR?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
It was at Fullerton, right? It wasn't here.
It was at Fullerton.
Yeah.
Yeah. We played them pretty well, and it was close, but we got it.
Because I remember we were looking at the schedule. It was the final week.
It was
the final series, right? And we were like, oh, that'd be kind of cool if UCR and Cal State Fullerton were battling for first, which I think UCR was third, right, in the Big West?
I believe so. I think
it was fifth, third, fifth, whatever. So we went Fullerton, and then who was second? Long Beach. And then because UCR made a postseason tournament. I didn't know if you had to finish like high enough or over 500 in conference play.
Yeah, but Riverside, even if they didn't, they finished in the top 5, they went on to play in this extra tournament. It's kind of the NIT of softball if you equate it to basketball, and they made it all the way to the national championship for that tournament itself. So the Big West is really good softball out here, and I don't think a lot of people realize. Like you said, a lot of players want to go for that big name. They want to go to Oklahoma. They want to go to different spots, Florida State. But they should. I mean, honestly, they should. There's a good foundation at UCR. There's a great foundation, obviously, at Cal State Fullerton. So hopefully these inland players will stay and maybe make the West a little bit more viable.
Yeah, I get it. The SEC, the Big 12, there's very prominent programs. But, you could stay even just in Southern California between the Pac-12 schools and the Big West schools. I mean, there's a lot of great, programs and a lot of great high school talent that could stay close to home like Taylor did at Cal State Fullerton.
Now, Taylor, as far as your health right now, how are things going right now? How are you feeling?
I feel really great. I actually had chemo last week on Monday. My next chemo is this Monday coming up. So my next scans are on July 17th at 6 a.m. So we'll see if the chemo is working or not. And then if it is, then we'll just keep doing the treatments every other week. But if it isn't, then probably possible surgery, a different chemo that they might try on me. Different options, but hopefully it just is working. We could just move forward. But
now you had during the season you had chemo, and then you would go out and pitch. You would practice. How were you able to do that? Was it really taxing on your body, or was it something that was more therapeutic for you to get out and work out with the team and make sure you're there at all time, running the poles, all the things you did this season? Was it more therapeutic, or was it really difficult for you?
Both. At times I was like, wow, I'm really tired. I don't know if I can work out today. But other times I was just like, I'm with my team here. Just being with my team always made me really happy and that I could do anything. So I was like, I'm gonna go run 7 foul poles, or I'm gonna pitch bullpen. But actually, I felt great. There were some times I was tired, but I felt great, and just keep pushing through every single time.
Well, we followed you during the season, and there were a couple of goofy moments that we saw on video of you.
You were reading my mind.
Yeah, you were thinking you guys were cutting out the bottom of cups and walking around. There's some great viral videos of you doing that. Was that because I go to a lot of college baseball games, and the college baseball guys are nuts. Are college softball players just as crazy?
Yeah, we're pretty crazy. One of my really good friends, Gabby, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do something behind the camera," and I was like, "Oh, I got cups." I was gonna do the little cup thing, but just always having fun, staying loose out there. I couldn't play all the games this season, but when I wasn't, I was just having fun and cheering on my team as best as I could.
She's like a superhero,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like it's unbelievable.
That's why she's our favorite National Player of the Year, my friend.
Taylor, can you stay another segment?
Yeah, of
All right,
course.
we got to take a break. I need her advice.
Okay.
There's only one person in the world that could give me advice about this. It's Taylor Dockins. I've got a real problem in the Fernandez household.
I know where we're going here.
And maybe she can fix it. All right, we got Taylor Dockins here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. More when we come back.
She comes home from work in about an hour and a half. Graveyard shift at the hospital. You got to make some phone calls. You got to call some people? Well, then do it.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Corum.
Man, welcome to the club. Sounds like club music or something, doesn't it? Jeez.
I'm telling you, man. I'm going to be going to raves all summer, Pep. I'm going to have lights in my fingers.
I don't know. Taylor probably missed that episode. So we do a high school football show on Friday nights on TV Channel 3, but the studio is located deep in downtown San Bernardino. And there's always 1 or 2 Friday nights every football season. There's some wacky rave at the Orange Show, or where is it?
Yeah, it's at the National Orange Show, but remember they park. They park at the old Inland Center Mall or the Central City
TV
Mall.
station, like across the street.
And there's like literally hundreds of these yellow school buses.
You were going to say something else.
Yeah.
hundreds of these.
Hundreds of these school buses all over the place. And all you can hear in the background is...
And they got their pacifiers in their mouth.
And they got light
all this
fingers.
Stuff on. And Jeff wants to go.
Yeah,
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm telling you, Pep, after one of the shows next year, Friday night, we'll be the only guys in suits. Either that, or we'll like paint our face and we'll put glitter all over us and we'll get lights on our fingers. I'm telling you, man, we show up, people will rub us. They will just come up to us and rub us. We want a massage. They'll just come massage us.
No, I don't want that.
I've heard about
that.
I don't
want anyone touching me.
I have a hard time with touching people or people touching me as well. I'm more of a,
Jeff,
hey,
you would stick out like a sore thumb in a place like that.
Man, I'm telling you, man, I want to go.
No.
Dude, I want to put feathers on, butterfly, yeah. And just picture me in tight, glittery spandex.
No, we talked about the morph suit. Remember the morph
yes,
suit?
that's what I want to wear.
Full body morph suit.
Yes, I want it curving every body part of my. Yeah, I want every fold, every big belly. I want to be seen in my entirety. I want to be loved, Pep. I want to be loved.
We're not going to a rave.
Have you been to a rave?
No, I've never been.
You've never been to a rave?
I've been to one party in high school. That's it.
You've been to more parties in high school than I did. I was not allowed to go to a high school party.
So now you're
never.
Now you want to just go off the deep end.
I want to go crazy. I'm gonna go. I'll be at Coachella. I'll be at Burning Man. I'm gonna be all over. Now I'm a grown man.
Yes.
I'm 47 years old.
And you're big.
Hey, I'm huge.
You're a 6'8" man.
I am, and I deserve to go to Coachella. I deserve to go to Burning Man. I deserve to be a hippie, because guess what? I still listen to like Frank Sinatra. I still listen to the boring. I listen to Michael Jackson, which is not boring, but I'm not hip to all this like crazy music. But I think I should be. I'm gonna become that.
Not
guy.
too late.
It's not too late.
Well, just send me pictures. I'm not going.
You hear it?
Oh, I hear it. I'm a country guy. I can't get into this.
I'm a country girl.
Hey!
All right, Jeff. Have fun at the rave. Tell us all about it.
I'm telling you, you're going to go with me next year. I'm going to drag you. We're going to get on one of those buses, and we're going to have lights in our fingers.
Pop a pacifier in my mouth and say, "Let's go."
Hey, I got several at my house. They're all underneath the crib at my house. I'll just grab 2.
Glow in the dark.
Yeah, they're kind of slightly used, but my kid, he's clean.
He's clean guy.
He's clean kid. Yeah, of course we are. We're going to go.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. It's your favorite show. We're brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. Right now, if you mention the Inland Sports Show, you get $500 off. Any vehicle on the lot. $500 off, but you got to mention the Inland Sports Show. That's Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. CatalanoCars.com is the website. Taylor, I got a really big problem at home.
Huge.
Okay. One of my daughters is a cheerleader. It's great. She loves it. My younger daughter is a gymnast, and she's actually pretty buff. Like, she's really strong. We got her into a softball camp at school this week. 2 days in, she hates it. She hates it. Did you, when you first started softball, did you love it instantly, or did you have to grow to love it? I'm just curious.
I was so little when I first started. I was 4 years old.
4? Oh, my gosh.
I started t-ball when I was 4. And
she's like, I can't read, but I can throw a bit of softball.
I could not. I couldn't even throw. I couldn't catch. But my dad taught me. And I think I just grew to love it. Watching, the College World Series on TV, watching the older girls play, learning from the older girls was really awesome. But I think I just grew to love it. And it just stuck with me. And I just was really good at it.
Yeah. When did you know that you were pretty good, though? When was the first time? Because I can kind of remember the first time I was pretty good in playing basketball. When was the first time you remember?
Yeah. So I think I was like, 7 or 8? And my mom started noticing. I was like, wow, okay, she's got something. So she put me into travel ball when I was 9 years old, and I won nationals at 10. So, yeah. And I pitched all 11
modest,
games.
by the way.
So, I mean, my mom really knew at a young age that I was, I had something special, but I kind of was just like, okay, let's just do this, have fun.
So you're saying there's hope for his daughter. She could she could win nationals in a couple of years.
You heard Taylor. She'd go home and we'd watch it on TV and stuff.
I watched it on TV. I would practice every single day.
Okay,
my mom would pitch me every single day.
See, here's the deal. She's flipping in the living room with like a mermaid movie on. Like she's not, you know what I mean? She's not putting her best foot forward. It's like, hey, I'm gonna flip around and we're gonna, watch videos about husky puppies and we're gonna, watch mermaids. There's no softball at home right now.
Then she could hang out with Johnny. Johnny likes to flip around and watch mermaid movies as well.
There you go. Right? I know all those mermaid movies on Netflix by now. It's all that plays in the Fernandez house.
Yeah, in fact, yesterday we're sitting around watching cartoons, the Disney in the morning. He goes, "Hey, Dad, what's your favorite Disney princess?" And I said, "Princess Leia."
Oh, I didn't even think about it. You're right. She is a Disney
princess. But then
princess.
he said, no. Cartoon princess. And I'm thinking, Belle. And
she's a classic.
And then, of course, he goes, "No, Dad, Ariel's the one. Ariel."
Yeah, wrong, Dad. You got wrong answer.
Wrong.
You were close. You were real close.
Princess Leia is my favorite.
But that was
Disney
the wrong answer. Taylor, are you a girly girl?
I can be.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was a big tomboy when I was little. But now I'm like really girly. I can curl my hair. But yeah, I can be girly.
Because, softball players, I noticed some of them, they've got the like bedazzled, blinged out, like little ribbons in their hair. You know what I mean? Like they try to,
There's a thing called no bow, lesbo. And if you don't wear a bow, you're pretty much,
Oh, I never heard of that rule.
So, I mean,
Is that a rule? Or is that like
I'm going to look for bows from now on.
A norm, I believe, is an unwritten rule. So that must be like a norm, right?
A norm, yes.
So if you're not wearing a bow, then you're looking like that.
Okay, well, that's...
Hey! Make sure your daughter's wearing a bow tomorrow. For last day.
We got Taylor Dockins here in the studio on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. That really tickled Jeff over there.
That was really funny. That was the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. I'm going to use it from now on. I'm going to use it every single time. Hey, now I have a quick question. Since there's an outpouring of love for you, who's the most famous person that has reached out to you? Like the one person you go, "Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool."
Oh, that's a good question, Jeff.
Yeah,
Good job.
Hey, every now and then, bing, bing, boom, bing. Who's the most famous person?
And don't say Jeff Gorham.
No.
She's like, "Oh, that was my guess."
Any like TV or movie stars? Music guys?
Not music guys or anything like that. Probably just big softball players.
Well, you already know Jenny Finch.
From
the Gatorade Player of the Year, right?
Jackie Trina. Leah Miko. She was a 3-time Olympic gold medalist.
Oh, just a 3-time Olympic gold medalist.
Very humble.
But nobody really, I don't think any stars. Which kind of sucks.
Well, come on, cool. Jeff. Let's start tweeting at some people.
I'm gonna start
do you like?
Yeah,
Bradley Cooper.
Oh yeah,
the guy who plays Thor.
Bryce Harper and Will Ferrell.
Done. We're on it.
Yeah, remember, we have to ask the same question we ask all of our college stars that come in. Their guilty pleasures, their favorite. Yeah. What is your favorite guilty pleasure? So if we're walking around, and we go, "Taylor, what is the one thing that we would not think that you would love that you I gotta have?"
Food, movie, music, TV show. You're like, I'm a little embarrassed.
Line dancing? Awesome. Now, we had an argument this week about line dancing.
You said you know how to line dance.
I do know how to line dance, but Pep doesn't believe me because I've been to a lot of country bars.
Okay.
Is it not like a roller skating when you go to these big country bars and you go in like a big circle and dance? I told you.
I don't know.
It really
Explain this to Pep because he was like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah. Explain to him what they do at these country places.
Yeah, so pretty much Cotton Eye Joe is when you run around in a big circle and you stop and then you kick your legs and it's like a big old circle dance floor. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, it's just like
in here if you want.
It is just like roller skating. That's how I equate it to. Because I used to hang out with. I've been to many countries. I used to have my ropers, and I'm telling you, I drank my Bud Lights. I knew what I was doing. I get my Bud Lights from a big giant thing full of ice that the girl would be standing there. Hey, you want this? They're only Bud Lights, of course, but I know my stuff. I've been to Cowtown, USA many times.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah.
Line dancing. What's another guilty pleasure, Taylor? Do you have anything?
Favorite TV
Something
show?
on Netflix, and you're like, oh, I really hope this doesn't get out because I'm watching this.
Gilmore Girls, probably favorite.
Gilmore Girls.
My favorite movie is Dumb and Dumber. Or Step Brothers.
Those are both
Brothers,
good
good
ones.
ones, yes.
Yeah, we steal lines from Step Brothers on this show quite a bit. So,
My dad
but
always said too.
you know, we all have guilty pleasures, like things like, oh yeah, I don't want anyone to know that I go home and watch the Great British Baking Show or whatever.
Peaky Blinders.
That's what the UCR coach used to watch.
I heard it's a great show. That's gonna be my Kona over there says it's fantastic. He gave us thumbs up. That's gonna be my. I think Peaky Blinders. You think, oh, it's like you said, somebody's throwing flour, making biscuits right there.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, well, that's kind of what it sounds. But I think it's like mobster type stuff.
I think it is mobster.
I'm gonna watch it because I love mobsters. Definitely love. Who's your favorite singer?
Zach Brown Band or Thomas Rhett?
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
Chicken Fried. Chicken Fried?
I don't know. I don't listen to music.
Who are you?
I listen to the Wiggles, my friend. The Wiggles. And anything on Disney. Disney Junior, I know them all.
I know all the songs, all the Disney, princess cartoons and all their theme songs and all that kind of good stuff.
Where's Jeff's one of my all-time favorites from the Wiggles.
That Jeff might be fine. Or
I like
Greg
fruit
might
salad.
be finding it right now.
Fruit salad. She knows the Wiggles.
Yummy, yummy.
Fruit salad.
Come on,
in my
Taylor.
tummy.
Yummy.
Yeah, Where's Jeff is my all-time favorite, man. What is this? This is Cotton Eye Joe? Hey, that guy can't be. He's about 150. That picture's taken in 1929. That guy's been dead for 100 years. Who is that guy? He's about 100. He's got to be. Look, that's a painting. The guy. This was done before they even had. There's no words.
I'm gonna jump forward a little bit.
I just hear guys yelling in the background like they're in a barn.
Don't you want to get up and dance, Jeff?
I would love to, but I'm wearing flip-flops, Pep.
Oh, you dodged a bullet today.
Yeah, thank you. I've danced in the studio before. I've done the bird.
Yes, you've done the bird.
Yeah, me and Morris Day in the time.
Chicken in the red bed, scratching out dough. Where did you come from?
It's the old school version, the original.
Who else sings it?
I don't know. Everybody.
Everybody?
Everybody does.
Everybody.
Everyone covers it.
Now, coming from Horsetown, USA, Norco, does that make you automatically love country?
No, not everyone loves country in Norco.
They should.
Yes, they should.
At football games, if you riding their horses across top of the stadium.
I heard, though, when you walk into Norco, if you're not playing country music on your car, the police will pull you over. They're not going to write you a ticket. They just change the station to your car to country music. Now, do you have horses?
No, I don't have horses.
Do you have any goats?
No.
Chickens?
I don't have a farm.
No
I live
farm?
in Corona. I don't live in Norco.
Oh, you live in Corona.
That's a different world.
Oh, we don't go to Norco. I only went to school there. I live in Corona. I have a huge swimming pool. I don't talk to you people in Norco. I just go and pitch. I was the world's greatest pitcher. I thought that's how Taylor Dockins lives.
That's Rich Jeff.
Yeah, Rich Jeff. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you guys have heard
Oh, I used to live in Corona until I sold my little piddly house. Now I live in Balboa. I have an $18 million mansion on the water. I have a yacht. It's not just any yacht. It holds 4,000 people. It's the biggest yacht in Balboa. I'm Rich Jeff. I love everyone except for you, Peasant Pep. You and your little dinghy living in Redlands. I don't want to talk to you anymore, Pep. Okay.
Thank you, Rich
I'm back.
Jeff.
Thank you. All right.
Taylor, we got to wrap this up. It's always good seeing you. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy Missoula.
I will. I will.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Hey, and if he treats you bad, I'm gonna beat him up. I'm gonna straight kick his ass.
That's the great Taylor Dockins here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. When we come back, NBA Draft Talk and Kawhi Leonard. We'll be back.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here. We're back at the BPC continuing our series on building power. Today we're going to demonstrate a speed squat, and there's 3 aspects of this. There's a slow eccentric, an isometric, and a fast concentric. Now, concentric is going on the way up, and it's got to be fast and explosive as possible. So what Zach's going to do, he's going to get under the bar. All right, those thumbs around Zach. All right, he's going to go ahead and lift off. He's going to give me a 2-1-X tempo. He's going to go down slow, pause, Then fast up. Good. And what I'm really looking for here is bar speed. All right? That pause. And like I said, we're working 3 different elements of strength, right? We got that slow eccentric on the way down, that pause, and then fast up. This is a great drill. Turn all that strength gain in the offseason to power. So like I said, this is a great drill that actually works on 3 different aspects of strength. All right, we got that slow eccentric going down. We got that isometric pause, that fast concentric going up. So while it maximizes power, we're still hitting 3 different elements of strength. We do it right here at Boost. Today's tip is all about the speed squat, and what I want to talk about is how we progress this exercise here at Boost. So we showed you guys a 2-1-X tempo that was going down for 2 seconds, pause 1, and then that fast concentric coming up. So what we'll do is over time, we'll play with the tempos a little bit, and we'll go from a 2-1-X to a 1-1-X tempo, going down 1 second, pausing for 1 second, coming up, or we'll go with an X1-X tempo with a quick eccentric, isometric contraction, and then we'll come up with the fast concentric. So a lot of different ways that we like to progress our athletes. Building strong and powerful athletes is what we do right here at Boost. Grind hard, stay solid.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
iHeartRadio station.
surprise. His name is Skeletor. He's a retired race dog.
You got me an old dog.
Oh, well, he's not that old.
He's old enough to be retired.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Corum.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 a.m. every single day, 3 to 6 p.m. Nothing but the good stuff. All the stuff going on in the Inland Empire and beyond. The big national headlines, including the NBA draft and our dear, dear friend Kawhi Leonard, the pride of King High School. We're going to talk about that and LeBron James.
And it's all brought to you by Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. Spoil yourself. More importantly, spoil your car. Your car's going to love it. It's like going to the spa every time you go to Spoiled. Get your oil change. I know you're overdue. Every 3,000 or 5,000 miles. Spoiled off of Alessandro Boulevard. Right here in the Riv. Hashtag the Riv
raised me. Okay. The Lakers. The Clippers. They got the draft coming up. They both need a lot of help. I mean, they need a lot of help.
Oh.
Lots of help. Right?
For 35 wins for a Laker team, they definitely need a lot of help. They're not going to win a ton with this current roster.
But they're on the rise. I guess that's the good news. I talked about it yesterday. I'm a Kings fan, and there's no end in sight in this mediocrity. I mean, they are just bad. They're going to be bad for a long time. But if you're a Lakers fan, I think there's room to believe that this team could be a playoff team as early as next season because they're going to make some moves, right? They're going to do something. I don't know if it's LeBron James, but they're going to do something, and it's not Timothy Mozgov. Like, they're going to do something.
Yeah, and they have to do something because, you know, the Lakers have it's a stale organization. The one good thing you can say in the last couple years is they brought in Magic Johnson and they took over.
That was the great thing.
And Jeannie Buss took over the controlling reins of the behind the scenes Lakers. Her brother was running the organization into the ground, but the roster itself, they've done what they were supposed to do. They said they were in a rebuild mold, but they've started with young guys. They've drafted young. It always hasn't worked out, but some of the young guys they have, Lonzo Ball is a very, he's a serviceable NBA guy, but you have Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma was a huge surprise, and Julius Randle, his last half of his last season with the Lakers has been pretty good, but
For the money.
Josh Hart, another great player out of Villanova, who was a pleasant surprise.
Okay, but
other than that,
let me ask you this, Jeff. Then, as we go into the NBA draft, which is Thursday, and I should mention, NBA great, UCLA great, Tracy Murray is going to join us live as we break down the NBA draft as it happens. But as the Lakers stand right now, and listen, I know we can get hypothetical. We could say, let's say LeBron James is in place. Let's say Kawhi Leonard's in the purple and gold. But right now, looking at their roster right now as it is today, where do you think the Lakers' biggest need is as we go into the draft?
Well, going into the draft, they're going to need a big just because they lose. There isn't a big guy on that entire program right now. You look, it's my least favorite human being in the world.
Your least favorite human being?
Brooke Lopez.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That's right. That is.
The least, but he's a free agent. That's going to take $23 million off the books. So if you can get a couple mid-level exception guys that are looking to bolster the end of their career with this young Laker roster, the Lakers definitely need a big. Their answers are they have a lot of forwards. If you keep Julius Randle, forward. If you keep
Ingram, right?
forward.
Kuzma,
a forward. These are all forwards. So I would imagine within the next couple days, we're going to see the Lakers are going to start putting together packages to get rid of some of these guys. I know they're young. A lot of the Laker fans, diehards, we're hoping to see these guys later on down the line in a Laker uniform. But when you have a chance to get, top-notch free agents like LeBron James, like Paul George, like Kawhi Leonard possibly, Chris Paul, you've got to get rid of these guys to bolster your team because if they don't do anything, they're going to revel in mediocrity. They'll hover right around 35 wins every single year, and without that post presence, they're going to have to go out and get a big man first.
Where's Robert Sacre when you need him?
Where's the old Sacre?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Is he even in the league?
No, I don't think so.
Right?
But, there's guys like Capella. Capella's going to be a free agent. Capella would be a great fit for Los Angeles because you're in the West. You got to be able to run the floor. You can't have a big that's going to stand pat and play his back to the basket.
Like a traditional big, right? Like Roy Hibbert. Andrew Bynum.
But there are chances if the Lakers don't feel that they are going to get LeBron James or they feel they're not going to get one of these big free agents, look for them to make a move Thursday during the draft to get one of those bigs. There's a lot of guys.
But outside of the guy from Arizona, Ayton, right?
Marvin Bagley Jr.
I mean, but he's not a real big, though, is he?
Yes. He's a big in the Western Conference. He's a 6'11", 7-footer that runs the floor well. He's a big body that can shoot a little bit. He can play facing the basket. That's the kind of guy. That's where the NBA is evolving right now. The Western Conference, they're all centers that can face the basket.
Okay, how about the Clippers? What do the Clippers do, Jeff? I mean, because you could probably look at their roster and be like, well, they need a little bit of everything. They can't go wrong anywhere. So if you're the Clippers and you got 2 picks, but inside the top 10, right? Like number 9, I believe number 10. You just go who's like best available. I know we hear that a lot in the NFL draft. Hey, you know what? We might have a need at this position, but you go with the best available. I look at the Clippers and I'm like, okay, they could use guys everywhere. Where do you go for the Clippers in those 2 first-round picks?
Well, you always go for the best athlete. That's always the new standing thought. You go for the best athletic big. The bigger the better, the more athletic the better. So you start with those pieces. You can always get shooters. You can pick up guys. I mean, J.J. Redick was with the organization for a long time. But there are guys like that are peppered throughout the league that you can pick up for that veterans minimum. But you always want to go biggest and best athlete every single time.
And the Clippers, with the 9th and 10th pick, assuming they keep them, they could really give themselves a facelift, like with 2 really impact players. And they're going to have like a really young core going forward. Now, this is, again, the way it looks today, because I feel like the Clippers might be in the middle of some of these free agent acquisitions, potential trades. I think the Clippers could look very different come next season, but as it looks right now, they've got some young guys. In fact, they got a bunch of guys I've never even heard of. They called up some guys from the D-League and all sorts of stuff. That's why I felt like they've got a lot of different areas that they could address here in the NBA draft, and with back-to-back picks so high up in the draft, they're going to get some value there. They're going to get some guys who can actually play.
Well, yeah, they're picking 12th and 13th.
12 and 13. There you go.
Yeah, but you got to figure they have DeAndre Jordan. He's not going to opt out. He could opt out, but he's not going to opt out if he's making $24 million next year. He's not going to get a max contract. He's old. He's going to be 31 next year, starting the season. He's not going to get a 5-year deal. But you have Lou Williams. Lou Williams was great this year. Lou Williams
was their best player
by far, and they have a couple other guys. They got that Milos, the guy from
the Bond villain.
Yeah, the big guy. Yes, no. They do have that's Boban Marjanovic.
Oh yeah, Boban
Marjanovic is not bad, but he's
Boban.
You got to pay him $7 million next year. Wesley Johnson, not a bad player, but Avery Bradley.
Wait, hold on. The Lakers got rid of Wesley Johnson.
Yeah, but the Clippers are always the sloppy seconds of the Lakers. Avery Bradley, a very good player, came over from Boston. Remember, he had that injury this year. He didn't even play that much. Patrick Beverley, another serviceable guy.
Yeah, Beverley's pretty good.
Yeah, but the Clippers are looking to draft Lonnie Walker, the guard out of Miami. He averaged 20 points a game. That's who they're aiming for. And then there's, let's see who else is on that list. They might. Robert Williams. I don't know if you've seen him play, but he is. I'm trying to look where he's from. But Robert Williams is he's out of Texas A&M, the center. So they're looking for a big guy as well. He's in the Clint Capella mold. He's got great explosiveness and can guard the big guy. So that's who they're looking for. They're going to start young. They've got 2 guys, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers do try to trade those 2 picks and try to get one of these big free agents or move up the draft.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as the roster looks right now, because today's Tuesday, the draft is Thursday, a lot can happen in the next 48 hours. And even in the draft, like once we get into the draft, things can drastically change as well. So when I look at the Lakers, their biggest moves they're going to make are not in the draft. When I look at the Clippers, I feel like they could probably get pretty good value in those back-to-back picks in the first round. But like you said, what can they get in return? Like, can they package those up for something? I don't know. Maybe Kawhi Leonard. I have no idea.
Well, they're up against the cap, so they're going to have to do it through the draft. And, you do have Jerry West in the fold. Jerry West is a shrewd businessman in the NBA. He might be able to pull off something. But I still think that this is going to be, when you get rid of Blake Griffin, you get rid of CP3, you try to move DeAndre Jordan, that's in a rebuild mode. That shows that they're still looking 3 years down the line, somewhat like the Lakers did. And right now we're sitting with that Lakers free agency. All of that money, they waited for it for years. They said 2018, 2019, those are the years they're going after. They have money to spend. The Clippers do not.
When you look at Phoenix with the number 1 overall pick, I know everyone points to the big man from Arizona, Ayton.
Yes.
Ayton or Ayton? I've heard it both ways. Ayton. So Phoenix has recently been linked to Kawhi Leonard with the number. If the Suns could package up that number 1 pick with some other pieces, send it to San Antonio for Kawhi Leonard. If you're the Suns, why not, right? I mean, because even best case scenario, like top shelf, best case scenario for Ayton, he's not going to be Kawhi Leonard, right? I mean, he's not the same player. I mean, he's a bigger player. He's a bigger body. But why not, if you're Phoenix, to do that, bring in Kawhi Leonard? But assuming a trade does not happen with Kawhi Leonard, because again, I'm going back to the staunch rule that Greg Popovich is not going to make a deal with a Western Conference team, which would include Phoenix. Phoenix with that number 1 pick, do they keep that Arizona Wildcat at home and keep them right there in the state of Arizona?
Well, I think if you're Phoenix, they were 21-61 last year, 5th in the Western Pacific Division, and
behind Sacramento, right?
Behind Sacramento,
that's bad.
Anytime you can get better players by getting rid of that first pick, you got to do it, and you've got to do it with. You've got a very good player. You've got Devin Booker. Devin Booker's a hell of a player.
He's a great scorer.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those guys, and you're not paying him a ton right now. You're only paying him $2 million for the next 2 years, so he's still part of that rookie deal. They've got Jared Dudley. I'm trying to think. Look down to Brandon Knight. They don't have a whole lot of guys that they can deal to get better players, but they're so far under the cap that they could get a couple players for that number 1 pick and maybe lure another big free agent because of the picks. But right now their roster's pretty abysmal.
It's bad.
Yes.
I don't even know who's on Phoenix
I'm
anymore.
looking at him right now, and I can only name Jared Dudley, who was a throwaway from the Clippers.
Yeah, he was okay.
Yes.
He was okay. But Booker, he's a rising star. He gets lost in Phoenix, I think. But he can score. Didn't he have like 50 or 60 in a game?
Oh, he had 60 in a game.
60 in a game.
Yes. I mean, very close to hitting that 70 plateau. I think he had 61 or 62. And Kobe's the last guy to score 70.
Is he?
Yes, he is the last guy. Yes, Kobe Bean Bryant. Awesome. No, I think Phoenix, though, will probably, if they're smart, you
if
trade
they're
up.
Smart.
If they're smart.
That's the key right there. If they're smart.
You almost have to trade that number 1 pick if you can get several players to help your franchise. Because right now, who's going to want to go to these games if they're finishing below Sacramento?
You just had to say that, didn't you?
Yeah. What do you think Sacramento's going to do? That is your team.
No, they're going to be worse.
Do you think they're going to do Do you think they're going to do a Sacramento Kings pick somebody that we've never heard of? There you go, crickets.
In the footsteps of Jimmer Fredette, Ben McLemore, Nick Stauskas, Willie Cauley-Stein.
Well, you do know you
know what I mean? Like, those are just some of the most recent draft picks. So just go in that order. Yeah, we don't have a real great track history in bringing great talent to the Kings. Now, I do like Buddy Hield. Buddy Buckets can score. Old Buddy Buckets can score.
There is nobody around him, though, that can. No. The Kings look like they're going to draft that Luka Doncic out of Real Madrid. I mean, that's a total Real Madrid move by Floppy Divac and company over there.
Look, again, this goes back to my whole battle cry yesterday on the show. I like really bad teams. It's my own fault. It's no one else's problem. It's my problem, but I am also very loyal to my really bad teams. I am going down with the ship. I'm like in the Mariana Trench. You guys know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
It's the deepest part of the planet.
That's where the megalodons live.
That's what I'm at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. I have gone down with the ship. I'm not coming back. There's no end in sight. I don't see a scenario where Sacramento gets better anytime soon.
Hey, they're going to have a great 6'8" point guard that can't pass to anybody that can score.
Is that Doncic?
Yeah, 6'8". He's ready to play. He's averaged 19 points a game in Europe. So, I mean, he's really kind of unknown.
So let's this. So we got the guy from Europe who's unproven. We got Willie Cauley-Stein. We got 40-year-old Vince Carter. I mean, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but see,
turn back the clock.
If I was Sacramento, I would draft